We're here just outside of Romney, West Virginia. And the 54th Pennsylvania would have arrived here early in the spring of 1863. They received their orders to march to Romney, West Virginia. 54th Pennsylvania's brief visit here early in January, Colonel James Washburn had combined command of the infantry and cavalry that were located here at Romney. And he had orders to guard the recently repaired B&O Railroad. Colonel Washburn's forces faced constant raids and attacks, primarily from Captain John McNeill's command of Confederate irregulars. The guerrillas attacked Union foraging parties and mail carriers, shot at Union pickets, and rummaged through Federal baggage trains. Brigadier General Schenck relieved Colonel Washburn's command of their duty at Romney for incompetence and ordered them to Winchester, Virginia. On March 6, 1863, the 54th Pennsylvania, along with the 1st West Virginia under Colonel Joseph Toburn, started to concentrate at North Mountain Station. The men were overjoyed with the idea of changing their base and threw up their hats in wild enthusiasm when the order was promulgated. Members of the regiment were notified that 2 days' cooked rations would have to be prepared before marching. Private John Hammer recorded in his diary, "Today we have marching orders and expect to go to Romney. All packed and ready to move." The regiment spent a few uncomfortable days combating rain and mud before a train dropped them off a few miles outside of town. The next day, the 54th Pennsylvania broke camp and resumed their march. The weather continued to hamper them. Corporal Jonas Kaufman remembered, "The mud was almost knee-deep. During the day, it ceased raining, but on our arrival at Romney, it began again. We made ourselves as comfortable as we could." Private Hammer added, "On this morning, we started through mud knee-deep for Romney, where the regiment fords arrives at dark in the evening." The wet and tired men set up camp in the dark just outside of town. Colonel Campbell did not wait long to relocate his camps. Along with the 54th Pennsylvania, Colonel Campbell commanded the 1st West Virginia Infantry and Battery E, 1st West Virginia Light Artillery. On March 16th, all three crossed the South Branch of the Potomac River. Corporal Kaufman wrote, "Struck tents, formed the 1st West Virginia, took the lead and crossed the South Branch on a ferry, camped on the east side of the hill." And that is what we are currently looking at. This hillside in front of us was the camp of one of the regiments, and the other regiment camped on the opposite side of this little gully here on the hillside behind us in these fields. As snow mixed with some sleet, Colonel Campbell's command, along with 3 companies from the 22nd Pennsylvania Ringgold Cavalry, set up a permanent camp along the Northwestern Turnpike. You can probably hear the turnpike behind us, close to the Mechanicsburg Gap. And the Mechanicsburg Gap is right there. And that was the purpose of the regiment being here, to guard that gap. Private Hammer remembered the majority of the men in the 54th Pennsylvania arrived very tired and are not overly comfortably situated yet. Romney did not leave a memorable first impression on the men of the 54th Pennsylvania. Adjutant Rose wrote in a letter home, "The celebrated village of Romney is about the size of Stoystown, Somerset County, only far more antiquated. Now it is almost barren of inhabitants. It is one of the most desolate spots I ever saw." He did, however, approve of this new campsite, writing, "We are pleasantly situated." The regiment would stay in these camps until June of 1863, and during that time would construct Fort Mill Ridge across the Northwest Turnpike and atop Mill Ridge up there. So thank you for watching this episode of In the Footsteps of the 54th.